Yo, what's good everybody? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to make your Fortnite run way better. And these tips actually work. And me personally, I have a low-end computer and I make it work. If you're wondering the computer I use, it's a Dell Optiplex 5050 and I have mine a bit upgraded. I'm using integrated graphics, so imagine what kind of upgrades I can do. Anyways, let me show you what I do personally to make my Fortnite run just a bit better. Alright, so the first thing I did, eventually after doing some research, I did this. So I went to my library on Epic Games and I selected the three dots on Fortnite, and then I went to options. And right here, I unchecked high resolution and I clicked apply, and it just had to update for like 10 minutes. And that, I didn't really see any performance in that, but I don't know, I don't really know what that does, but I mean, high resolution means worse gameplay, aka lag. I mean, better lag without that on. And the next thing I did was manage. And what you want to do right here is click verify file. So I recently did this today, and oh my gosh, I tell you, I gained like 50 FPS from this. And if you don't know what that does, basically what this does right here is it verifies all of the game files and makes sure that they're all working properly and everything is working like it's supposed to be. And it made my FPS, I don't even know how, but it made my FPS go up at least 20 to 50. It was crazy, and I played a lot of games that I used to crash in constantly, and it didn't crash in them anymore. So that's basically it for here. Now what you want to do is open up your Fortnite. I'm going to see you guys when my Fortnite's fully launched, and then I'll come back. Alright, so I'm sorry if the screen recording is lagging, but here's what I do inside of my Fortnite. So what I do is I go to my settings, and then right here, you can see right here, there's this little gap on both sides. And what that is it's a resolution. So my monitor resolution is 1920 by 180p, but I have it set to 1680 by 140p because this boosts my FPS by like another 20 to 30. And honestly, it's really helpful for me, and just in general, I feel better while playing with it like this. So if you want to get it a little bit better, this is my opinion, okay? Each one of these modes depends on what kind of computer you have. So test each mode inside of the game. The best mode for me is windowed, okay? Uh keep changes, sure, whatever. I don't know what I did different. Okay. So yeah, those are my resolutions here. You know, these resolutions are the same right here. Let me apply that. And then just give me a second here. Let's see. Okay, keep changes. The next thing is VSync offs. This will like decrease your FPS like a lot. I mean, like so much FPS is gonna be decreased by that. So go ahead and just disable VSync. Basically, what that does is it renders a full screen before it goes on to the next screen. So like it's gonna prioritize your FPS on that one screen, that one shade before it goes on to the next. And then the next thing is I have my frame limit locked at 120 because I can't even get that, so I just lock it at 120 or sometimes even 60. But you honestly don't need more than 120 FPS. If you can get a stable 120 FPS, you're basically fine. For my rendering mode, I have performance low graphic. I don't even know what that says, bro, but that's what I have it at. And then your brightness, all this right here is basically just what you prefer. I put my brightness up just a little bit better so I can see a little bit better. Now, this is where some of the important stuff is. So if you have a really low-end PC like me, you want to put all these right here down. All the way down. Put your show FPS on, report performance stats off, and then your 3D resolution. Now, me personally, this matters a lot. If you want to play the game at high FPS, I would keep yours below 50. But if you want your game to look good and have a decent amount of FPS, but if you have a low-end computer, I'd go below this. But if you have a decent computer and you still want your game to look good, put it at 80%. I have mine at 40. Yes, that is very low. That is basically unplayable, but I'm sweaty on it. This is very important. This is what's going to determine the most out of all of these settings, I think. Definitely this and this. Those are going to matter the most. For sound quality, I have my sound quality on low because that does affect your performance, as it says. And then your game UI is honestly just what you prefer. Some of the things I recommend you putting on is like net debug stats. What this is going to do is show you your ping and all that. I recommend having that on so you can just see what you're looking at on your ping. Player health, obviously, you want all this on. Yeah, so that's basically it for that in my Fortnite settings. Now let's go on to your actual computer, okay? So for your actual computer, here's some things you can do to boost your FPS in general on your computer and in Fortnite. So go ahead and open up Task Manager. If you don't know how to do that, right here, just type in Task, and this will show up, Task Manager, and just go ahead and click Open right there, okay, bro? And then you'll see a lot of stuff here. If you don't notice stuff like OBS, if you're not recording, you can go ahead and end that. Like Steam, end everything that you don't know what it is. Now, don't go clicking random stuff, okay? Because some of the stuff you need for your computer to actually run, okay? Only end stuff that you recognize that it's on your computer, like Epic Games Launcher. You don't need that on when you're playing Fortnite. You can cut that off, okay, bro? Like, if you have Google Chrome open, you can go ahead and end that task. You don't need all these random tasks open. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is click Windows R on your keyboard, okay, bro? And then you want to click percentage, and then you want to type in temp percentage. And what this is going to, not cap locks, bro, not cap locks. Percentage, temp, percentage, and then click OK. Now, yours is going to look a little bit different because I actually cleared mine today. But what you want to do, there's probably going to be like hundreds of files in here if you haven't done it before. You just want to click Control-A on your keyboard and click Delete. Okay, what that's going to do is that deletes temporary files. That's what temp means. It's going to delete all the temporary files that you do not need on your computer anymore. And if you delete these, it's not going to harm your computer. All that's doing is deleting temporary files that your computer no longer needs. Let's go on to the next tip that actually helps me. Alright, so for this next tip, it actually has to do with your monitor. So up here, type in mon, rearrange multiple displays. And then what you want to do is click identify. So if you have multiple displays, identify them. And then what you want to do is scroll down here, okay? And then what you want to do next is click advanced display settings. Once you're here, your hertz, refresh rate right here. This really matters when it comes to gaming. If you have 60 hertz, that's fine. But if you anything above, okay, your top one right here, click it. Okay, what that's gonna do is give you your maximum refresh rate on your monitor, and your game is gonna look so much smoother. Okay, I'm telling you, it's gonna look way better. And this is also gonna tell you what your monitor looks like. And that's basically it for that right there. Alright, so the next thing, go back to settings, home menu, and click gaming right here. And then what you want to do is disable game bar. Okay, what that is, this is game bar. And basically what this does is it records in the background, and it just decreases your performance a lot. Now, if you don't want to disable game bar, you can just disable captures right here. Just record in the background while I'm playing a game. Now, if you don't know, recording actually decreases your performance by a lot. You see, what recording does is it takes 60 FPS, which is what most people record at. It takes 60 of your FPS, and it puts it on your screen recorder, and then it gives you the rest of the FPS. So if you get 120 FPS minus 60, that's how much FPS you're going to get. And then game mode, cut that on. What that's going to do is just make your PC optimized for gaming. I forgot what this is. Yeah, we don't really care about this. So yeah, just go ahead and cut that on, and let's go on to the next thing. Okay, so this is the last tip I have for you guys. So what you want to do is go down here and type in power. And then what you want to do is click choose a power plan. And then once you're here, you want to make it high performance. What this is going to do is it's going to use more power, but it's going to boost your PC's performance by a lot. I've actually tested this, and it's really good. And I recommend you guys use this instead of balance, because it's going to boost your FPS a lot, and it's really helpful. Alright, that's basically it for this video, guys. If this any of these tips helped you, then please subscribe to my channel. I mean, that means a lot to me if you guys do. But yeah, that's how I boost my FPS to the maximum. Now, yes, my computer cannot even handle Fortnite itself, but I can play it a bit. And if you like your life and you love your mom, then go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one with maybe more tips on Fortnite.